Profits. It's all about profits. That's why we do what we do as entrepreneurs. I have a couple ideas today about profit boosting and what that can do for us as entrepreneurs, a couple secrets about how I do it and how I allow it to guide my day each day. First of all, I make sure that I understand my market. And I would encourage you as entrepreneurs to please do that. Please study your market as much as you possibly can. Do as much research online. Talk to people. Find people that know about the markets that you want to get into and understand that market. But most importantly, understand the margins or the profitability that come within that market. Secondly, understand the customers that are inside that market. Every customer has a psychology. Every customer has a different purchasing cycle. And so if you understand that individual and that product or service that you're selling them or putting before them, if you understand how that customer behaves, you can maximize profitability at the highest level. And then thirdly, understand your margins. We're all here today as entrepreneurs. We all have a cost of business. We know that we have to do certain things to keep the lights on, to keep the doors open. Understand your cost and understand your margins. So again, if you look at the market and you look at your customer and you look at your margins, you are on your way to understanding how you can boost your profits. And I'm going to have a resource guide for you called the $1 Million Idea Guide. And I'll remind you about it again later in this discussion. But this is going to give you tips on how you continue to do your profit boosting. So you've got profits now. That's what you do. You're in business. You've got profits. What do you do with those profits? Number one, look at reinvesting and improving your own company, your systems, your product. Find a way that you can take some of those profits and put them back into improving and even creating a better product experience for your customer. Secondly, look at taking those profits and adding more goods and services. So we all can do one thing well, but it is a good idea to see if you can do 2 or 3 things well. So if something happens with the first item, then you've got these other items to fall back into. Well, that has a cost to that. Consider reallocating those costs into those goods and services. That's called research and development. So lastly, consider looking at gifting as an idea to handle those profits that you get. At Wealth Factory, we have a couple of nonprofits that we give to that's very, very important to us. And it's a very, very gratifying part of what we do in our experience here. We give back to the community. We give back to the environment. And so consider taking some of those profits and using them for a gifting type circumstance. But most importantly, we have to keep this wheel going. We have to keep the machine going. So consider what amount of the profits that you generate that you're going to reinvest in advertising and marketing. I met you here today because you probably clicked an online ad and said, hey, I want to know more about this Wealth Factory. Take a part of every bit of your profits and reinvest them in advertising and marketing. Couple other things you should consider, just as we have this conversation, is are there cycles, either calendar or economic, within your purchasing cycle? So regardless of what your goods and services is, it may be seasonal in nature, or it may be very subject to the economy. Be aware of that. Try and think ahead. Try and forecast that. So if you need to make some kind of adjustment in your pricing or in your cost to be able to accommodate that, you can do that. And lastly, what leads to that is flexible pricing. try and find ways that if you need to create flexible pricing, reduce your pricing for a little while. It's like the vacation rental industry, for example. They get in the summer at the beach, they get top dollar. In the wintertime, they have to reduce that pricing to get somebody to go in there. Be open to that. Don't be so stubborn that it creates an issue with your business. So, as promised, a reminder, $1 Million Idea Guide. You'll find resources there to help you on the topic of profit boosting. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Don't miss out on a single Wealth Factory tip like this next one with proven ways to build your wealth.